Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the K and B Music Den. I am your friend Keith.
And I'm Brad as always.
Brad, as always. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I heard you had a little birthday celebration yesterday.
Hey, had to get down there to see the Flyers beat the Knights. It was nice. Nice game.
Yeah,
Nice game.
yeah. The best team in the league, apparently. Well, they couldn't beat us.
And they didn't beat us. No.
And the handful of subscribers that we have in the Vegas area, we just lost.
The three of them. Yeah.
Yeah. It was worth it. No. Belated happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you.
I hear you're 29 for the 13th time.
Yeah, just turned 29. This is the 13th time. Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Get my math right. So, hey, folks, we've got this idea that I thought of a little while ago. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think my wife thought of this one. And I love the idea. So here we are. We're each going to reveal our top 5 supergroups or side projects. So most of you music nerds know what we're talking about, but just to be sure I'm clarifying here, supergroups and side projects, it's, the members, at least the core members are, when you think of this person, you don't think of, you think of their main band, and then you hear about these little, it's almost like a tree of like your ancestry or something, where it's like there's this band and then there's this little branch that goes down here, but they did this for 2 albums and then they did the solo album. So a lot of our favorite musicians, songwriters, etc., they do more than just what they're mainly known for, and there's some incredible stuff out there that I think, I don't know about for you, Brad, but as a listener to music, sometimes I forget about, because oftentimes with these there's only one album that they put out, so it kind of just goes off my periphery sometimes.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, usually these side projects are 1 to 2, maybe 3 albums. Yeah. So yeah, they don't usually have the staying power because it is a side job. You know what I mean? But some great stuff's come out of it.
Oh yeah, some incredible stuff, as we'll see. Of course, this is our opinion. These are our top 5s. But yeah, I actually had to whittle my list down. I mean, I have a decent amount of these in my collection on physical media, whether it be vinyl or CD, as you'll see. But I tried to think about, which ones do I go back and listen to the most? Which ones to me kind of have that, they call it lightning in a bottle kind of thing, where this person and this person got together from other bands, and you wouldn't even necessarily think on paper it would even work, or sometimes you think, oh, I see why that works perfectly. So speaking of it working perfectly, folks, before we get into our number 5s each and then go down to number 1 or up to number 1, the only rule that I gave Brad and had to follow myself for this little experiment is that we are taking the obvious supergroup, the best one of all time, I would assume, in both of our opinions. We took them off the table, but we want to give a mention, of course, to the Traveling Wilburys. I mean, you okay? Here's who you get into a room to make initially just one song for George Harrison's B-side on his Cloud 9 album, that turned into then 2 albums. But okay, you want to get George Harrison to gather some of his, his buddies, people you may have heard of, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison. So, it was just for fun. And that's what I love about this the most. I mean, they did it for themselves. They did it for fun. And it ended up being a huge deal, as they must have known it was going to be a big deal. But they didn't give a shit about, the label or, when this should be ready by. I mean, this was just, hey guys, we got together to do this song for George's B-side. We all obviously have a ton of stuff laying around. Let's just put it together and have some fun. And boy, did they. I mean, this is a fantastic album.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. And then, of course, as cheeky as they are, they put out Volume 3, which was the second album. So there was no Volume 2. And unfortunately, Roy Orbison had passed away. So they did it kind of as a tribute to him. But yeah, this is top tier. I mean, when I hear the term supergroup, I mean, my mind immediately, it pictures, there's like a picture in my mind of this album cover.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, and rightfully so. So that can be argued in the comments. I mean, maybe people have other ones that they say, well, yeah, but don't forget about this. But I think generally speaking, your average music nerd is going to tip their hat to that and say, okay, that was the super group of all super groups.
Certainly.
So,
yep.
But all right, buddy, I have blabbed enough. Let me get you blabbing here. And what is your number 5?
Well, for my decisions, the way I kind of based it, I mean, easily you can go to Rolling Stone, open it up, and there's a list of 20 amazing supergroups you can look up. So I didn't want to just spout off the 20 best supergroups. I wanted to go with the 5 I would listen to the most frequently.
Yeah.
You know?
Personally.
So number 5 of the groups I would listen to that I consider not necessarily supergroups, but like you said, sometimes a side project. Number 5 would be Bad Books.
Oh,
yeah.
Great choice.
Kevin Devine meeting up with Manchester Orchestra, and I think they put out some fantastic stuff for it being a blended showing of 2 different background musicians. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, dude, we're one group in, and I'm already kicking myself that I didn't put that on. But I'm glad because I don't have diversity.
Oh yeah, we don't want to mix too many. We're going to have 1 or 2, I think.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we are. But I'm so glad that you mentioned them because I absolutely love Bad Books.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, folks, if you're not familiar, definitely check that out. I mean, Kevin Devine is a fantastic singer-songwriter. Manchester Orchestra is one of our favorite modern bands. I know for me, I think for you too. And Andy Hall as a singer-songwriter. Man, yeah.
And they blend beautifully. It sounds fantastic together.
That's a great choice, man. Great choice. Yeah.
Thank you.
So speaking of great choices, and I realize I have these in the wrong order now. I got to flip this one. Come on, Keith. My number 5, and I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if you even know about this, but I hope you do. And if you don't, I know you're going to listen to it because of who. But are you familiar? I'm going to guess yes. Are you familiar with my number 5, which is called Mutual Admiration Society?
I am not.
Well, prepare to want to listen to this as soon as we get done filming, because this is Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh, I already need to hear it. Yeah.
And the band Nickel Creek.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Very interesting. Yes.
I did not know it existed.
Yeah, Chris, I was a Thiele. I don't think it's Thiele, but it's spelled Thiele. But I think it's Chris Thiele. And the brother-sister duo of Sean and Sarah Watkins.
Wow.
Which all 3 of them have had their own solo albums and did other projects in their own right. But now this was produced by Ethan Johns, by the way.
Oh, well, that's immediately going to put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is great. They do 1 Toad song called Windmills.
Okay.
They do a version of that's a little more hushed, which is fantastic. I think most of the rest of these are just originals that they wrote together, or maybe Glenn wrote. Glenn, they all sing beautifully, and there's beautiful harmonies on this, but Glenn is clearly the frontman of this project.
Okay. Yeah. Which would make sense.
Yeah. But dude, even just the album cover, like the artwork, it's just I'm so excited that you haven't heard this because
I haven't, which is shocking because I went through a big Toad phase a while ago. So
I know you have.
This is surprising. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So again, it's called Mutual Admiration Society, folks. Again, now spoiler alert. There's only 1 of my 5 choices that did more than 1 album. These are almost all of my choices are 1 album, and that album is so great that it made it onto my top 5. So Mutual Admiration Society, Glenn Phillips, and Nickel Creek. Well, this is lightning in a bottle here, buddy. So check it out.
All right.
All right, you're up number 4.
That's a great choice. This is one I got to hear now. So I mean,
yeah. So
my number 4 is going to be on your list. I just don't know where on your list.
Okay.
And that's Middle Brother.
Okay. Yeah.
You didn't sound too surprised.
Yeah.
John McCauley, Deer Tick, Taylor Goldsmith, Dawes, Matt Vasquez, Delta Spirit.
Yep.
I mean, there's not much to say about that. If you haven't heard this album, you got to hear the album. It's 3 brilliant singer-songwriters sharing an album and doing it beautifully. I mean, you wouldn't say one of them takes more of a center stage than the other 2. Like, this literally is a 3-guy project.
Yes.
With fantastic songs the whole way through. Not a single throwaway. This is, I think you bought 2 vinyls by accident when it came out?
Yeah, you got the
one of them is mine now?
Yeah. So there's I'm glad you mentioned because there's an extra was it a 7-inch or a 12-inch that comes with 4 extra songs that they recorded that aren't on the album proper, that are on the vinyl. So yeah, I mean, you're right, man. I'm not going to say too much about it right now because I'll be talking about it later. But I went into this video thinking, because I knew you'd have it too.
Yeah.
I went into this video thinking, if all the people get out of this, if the only thing they get out of this, if they never heard Middle Brother, to listen to the album Middle Brother, which is self-titled.
It's fantastic.
It was worth watching the video.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll hear why if you're not familiar. So, so my number 4. Again, this is one I think you'll know. I'm more confident you'll know this one than my number 5, but I could be wrong again, which would be great because then you can have something new to listen to. But this is the self-titled, and again, the only album they ever put out as a side project.
Okay.
This is called Divine Fits.
Yeah, I do know these guys.
You know this one, okay?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So this is Britt Daniel from Spoon. Okay. And you also have Sam Brown from the New Bomb Turks. He was the drummer. And Dan. Oh, did I say Sam Brown? I said, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I said Dan because that's the next guy. And Dan Beckner from Wolf Parade. So, dude, and again, you know,
great.
Britt is at the helm here. He's the lead singer, rightfully so. This is, I mean, it sounds a lot like Spoon, but it's its own thing as well. Cool album cover again. Yeah, so this one, if you're a fan of Spoon, I would definitely check this out.
Oh, absolutely.
They did a great job with this one. So do you own this one?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, CD.
On CD, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to have this on vinyl. Geez.
Oh my God.
I imagine that would be a pretty penny.
Oh, I imagine so. If it was pressed, I don't even know if it was pressed.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah, actually, I don't even know if it was pressed.
Yeah.
Enlighten us in the comments here, folks, if you're a big Britt Daniel guy. But yeah, my number 4 is Divine Fits. I highly recommend all of these.
Perfect.
Your number 3, buddy.
Number 3. Now, this is one that's got a nice 90s vibe to it. Mad Season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, we got Lane Staley.
Yeah.
You know, Alice in Chains on vocals. You got Mark Lanigan from the Screaming Trees.
Yes.
Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
Yes.
John Baker Saunders from the Walkabouts. And Barrett Martin from the Screaming Trees. Just a fantastic album. I mean, from what I understand, the album kind of came about because McCready was coming out of rehab and a few of them were dealing with getting sober.
Yeah.
And they were hoping this would be a way to get Lane into that group, basically, of being sober. And
yeah,
I mean, it didn't end up working long term in that sense, but the album itself is fantastic. I mean, River of Deceit, and
yes,
this is just to me, it actually stacks up with Alice in Chains on par. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's my number 3.
Great choice, man. So they only did that one album above,
just that one album. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Great album cover. Great, great project, man. Good choice.
It was great.
And I like, besides the one that was going to be obvious that we were going to duplicate Middle Brother, I like that where you got different stuff here. So that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
So my number 3 is the only one, as I alluded to earlier in this video, my friend, the only one that did more than one album.
Okay.
And they kind of had a bit of a rotating cast of characters, but I wrote down the core ones to tell the folks at home.
Sure.
But I am pretty damn sure that you are familiar with Golden Smog.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
fantastic stuff.
Yeah, this seems to be the one, you know, the one that's kind of heralded the best. Weird Tales. But then you've got Another Fine Day. Okay, little glare there. And then you've got, I think this was the first one, Down by the Old Mainstream.
Yep.
Just clever title. And this is an EP. How clever are they, buddy? This one's called Blood on the Slacks.
I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that EP existed. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is good. They actually do they do Starman by Bowie on here.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's all covers. I could be wrong, but it might be. I don't know. But Yeah, but Golden Smog. So your primary repeat offenders in this project that I don't know, maybe they'll do something else eventually. But you've got Jeff Tweedy from Wilco, of course.
Sure.
You've got Gary Loris from the Jayhawks.
Jayhawks. Mm-hmm.
So I'm already sold right there. But
That's all you need.
weren't enough, as if that weren't enough, you're going to add Dan Murphy from Soul Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to add Craig Johnson, who has played with the likes of the Jayhawks. He's worked on Ray Davies' solo albums, the Ray Davies from the Kinks. He has worked with Joseph Arthur, by the way, too.
Oh, one of my favorites, yeah.
Craig Johnson, yes, that's why I mentioned it. And Mark Perlman, who's the bass player from the Jayhawks, is in this. And now at I think it's just 2 of the albums that I found through my research that the drummer was Jody Stevens, who is the drummer from Big Star.
Oh, shit. There you go.
They roped the legend in to play with the young guys.
That's great.
Yeah. But this music, I mean, if you like, I don't think it's even possible probably, but if you really like Wilco and you really like the Jayhawks and you've never heard this stuff, this opens up a whole new discography for you to just absolutely be obsessed with.
It does.
Yeah. All right. So you're pretty familiar with this one, I guess?
Fantastic. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a good place for people to start if they're not familiar.
Oh, absolutely. That's probably their go-to.
Weird Tales. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, there was a rotating cast. But Tweedy and Laura seem to be the always there, which again, you've got me. You've got me right there with that. So that's my number 3, buddy. So what are you up to number 2 here?
Yeah, my number 2. And I think this is a 3-piece that I'm going with here. And I'm not sure you can get much bigger than all 3 of these guys here.
Oh, wow.
We got Josh Homme as your guitarist and singer, with Dave Grohl on drums and John Paul Jones on bass.
Oh, wait. Oh, Them Crooked Vultures.
Them Crooked Vultures.
Yeah.
What a fantastic album they put out. One album. The fans have been clamoring for another one. They're saying it's going to happen at some point. So
wow.
We might get a second Them Crooked Vultures album, but fantastic album. And anything with Dave Grohl always said he wanted to play with Josh Homme. So they decided let's put this little thing together and drug John Paul into it. So like you said, bringing in the elder statesman and fantastic album. So that's my number 2.
Yeah, I know I had that on CD at one point. I'm pretty sure I still do. I'm almost positive. That, man, another great choice that I didn't see coming. Although, excuse me, with your recent Queens of the Stone Age obsession, maybe I should have seen that coming.
Which is funny because I knew of this band before Queens.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but yeah.
That's all right. So, okay, now I'm really, really happy that I'm going to show this one. As you know, buddy, and I've gotten you down this path years ago, and it continues to this day. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of 80s music.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so this to me is just the ultimate, and this is really a side project, a 1-album side project from the 80s. Fans of Duran Duran will absolutely know of Arcadia.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, dude, this is like if someone told you Duran Duran recorded an album in the 80s that never got released and it was just as great as anything they released in the 80s, this is it.
Well, who's in it?
Well, yeah, so it's Simon Le Bon, the lead singer.
Okay.
Nick Rhodes, the keyboard player. And Roger Taylor. There's so many Taylors in that band. I'm trying to remember if he's the bassist. I think he's the bassist. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, guys. But basically, 3/5 of Duran Duran, they kind of sectioned off and made this album, which there was a single, which was a minor radio hit called Election Day. Election Day, which is the first song on the album. Dude, if you ever see this on vinyl and it's not like, a ridiculous price, just trust me, just buy it. Like, it is masterful. It is, I will put it up against any Duran Duran album, and that's saying a lot for me.
That is.
Now the other half of this story is when they took this little break in the 80s, the other guys from the band grabbed the singer Robert Palmer, and they made the band called Power Station.
Okay. Yep.
And they had a big hit with their cover of Some Like It Hot.
Well, see, and I knew Power Station, so
yeah. And well, I don't know. Bang a Gong was the cover that they did of T-Rex, was a big hit. I thought Something Like It Hot was a cover too, but now that I think about it, maybe it's not. But yeah, we're here to talk about Arcadia. Beautiful album cover. And I'm realizing, how I went through my phase recently of getting rid of some of my vinyl.
Yeah.
So my thought was, well, I have this on CD. I don't really need it on vinyl. I am regretting that I sold it. And shit. Now that I think about it, I should have sold it to you.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'm kicking myself over that one. But so I might keep an eye out for it. But yeah, Arcadia. I highly recommend this. Duran Duran fans probably already own it, know it, love it. If you're a casual fan of 80s music and you're not even like a super huge historian of Duran Duran or anything, just as great 80s music, I would definitely not sleep on this album. And the album is called, once again, So Red the Rose. Yep.
Okay.
All right, buddy. So you're up to your number one.
My number one. It is. And I would take this number one and stack it right next to the Traveling Wilburys as far as how fantastic it is.
Wow. Okay.
And I stand by it. And I think once I tell you who it is, you're gonna have a hard time saying I'm wrong.
Okay.
The Highwaymen.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, we got Johnny Cash.
Yes.
We got Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, and Waylon Jennings.
Oof.
And to me, those four are my top 6 country musicians.
Yes.
I missed if they could have put George Jones in there somehow.
Yeah.
They would have been perfect. But yes, that is a all-star lineup. I mean, that's when you get to country music, that is your Mount Rushmore, and they all made an album.
Yeah, dude. What a fantastic choice. I didn't see that one coming. I'm glad you represented a different genre there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I believe I have a DVD of like a concert they did.
Okay.
So now educate me a little bit. Did they do in the concert? I know they played on a lot of each other's hits and stuff, but is the album just all stuff they wrote together or like playing on each other's
songs? A lot of it's what they wrote together, like the track, The Highwayman, which is what most people are going to know when they hear them, where each one took a verse and wrote on. Fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
It's one of the I got this one on vinyl. So I mean, I think they have 2 or 3 out. I can't remember.
Okay.
But I just bought the first one on vinyl. But yeah, I mean, that's, to me, when you stack it up next to the Traveling Wilburys, it's pretty close. I mean,
I can't argue.
For country music, that is your Traveling Wilburys of the country music.
You're absolutely right. Excellent choices, man. Especially your top one. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to revisit The Highwaymen because I have the DVD. Like I said, I don't think I have an album or anything, like a physical copy of an album, but I've heard it.
Yeah.
But I need to revisit that. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you already know what my number one is then.
Oh, I know what your number one is.
Little brother.
Yep.
So let's show the folks the vinyl.
Yeah.
And there's our 3 superheroes right there. Taylor Goldsmith from Dawes, John McCauley from Deer Tick, and Matthew Logan Vasquez from Delta Spirit. Yeah, this is my talk about lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. There should be a whole another album coming from those guys. I mean,
they need to.
I mean, for all 3 of them and all 3 of their bands, that might be my favorite album of each of their bands, honestly.
Dude, it's that good. I mean,
it is that good.
Oh my gosh. I can't even, I'm sure you'll relate to this. I can't even fathom to guess how many times I've listened to this album front to back.
Oh.
It's
just
been
a lot.
Yeah. And I don't know if you folks, maybe you can help me, Brad. Let me know if the folks can see this well enough. There's the name of the songs, and the 4 songs at the bottom are the ones that don't appear on the album on streaming. So you would have to search. Maybe someone posted a video of them as B-sides, or if you get your hands on the vinyl, you get an extra, I guess it's like a 7-inch. But yeah, even the packaging is great. And I got yours is probably the same, I guess. It's like the swirl.
Mine, I think, was black.
Well, maybe it's just the. I'll double check. Maybe it's just this. This extra EP. That's. But I love the fact that this has the EP with the 4 extra songs. I mean, there's no circumstance that could happen on this earth that would make me sell this. Let's see. Now I'm curious. Let me check the vinyl. Maybe it is just black. Oh no, it's wait. It's mostly black, but it has a little bit of a smoky gray splatter. Maybe yours probably does too.
Yeah, I believe that probably is right then.
Yeah, because you got my other copy, remember?
I do. Yeah.
So, so yeah, man, I am happy that. So the only duplicate we had was Middle Brother. Is that right?
That's it. That's the only one.
So that's great. So that's 9 things for the folks to check out. I'm sure some of our people know some of these, but I'm sure some don't know all of them. So I'm really happy we did this, man, and it makes me want to go back and listen. I've actually already been listening to all these through. Once I made my list, I was just like, oh, I want to hear that again.
Yeah, go back, check it back out.
Yeah, but dude, for you, I highly recommend Mutual Admiration Society.
That's what I got to check out.
And Arcadia, dude.
Yep.
I want to know your thoughts on that, so text me.
Absolutely.
But and everybody else text me. I mean, comment on the video. And we appreciate your time. And of course, go ahead and put your favorite supergroups. Are there ones that we missed that you love? Are there ones that you think, I'm not sure if these guys maybe even know about this? So, you know, there would be tons of honorable mentions I could mention, but that's on a list I left upstairs. So, but yeah, it's good to focus on the ones we actually picked. So,
yeah, absolutely. Great choices.
Yeah, the Highwayman. Good call, buddy. Awesome. So, all right, folks. Well, as always, thank you for tuning in to the K&B Music Den. As always, it's Brad, and I am Keith, your friend. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video on social media, smash the bell for notifications. You'll be notified every time we drop new content. We got album reviews coming. Hey, Brad, it won't be too long till we have to do our top 10 albums of the year.
It's coming.
It's coming. So I'm already starting to wrap my head around that.
I am too.
Yeah. Getting a bit of a migraine on that. A lot of great music this year.
No, there has been.
As we say, it's a good problem to have.
It is.
All right, buddy. Thanks as always. Great job. I love your picks. And folks, let us know what you think. And we'll see you here soon back at the K&B Music Den. Take care.